Gentleman yields back. Chair, and I recognize Mr. Fry from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm actually going to pick up right where Mr. Fallon kind of left off a little bit, but I want to focus, Madam Secretary, on the companies themselves. In April of this year, Brad Crabtree testified in front of the Subcommittee on Economic Growth and Energy Policy that companies were concerned about the pause. Will this pause, in your mind, impact the planning horizons of LNG producers and exporters?
No.
No. So you would disagree with the characterization by Mr. Crabtree?
Well, he said their companies are concerned. I understand that they were concerned, but once people explain that it is a pause, that none of the existing operations are going to be affected, none of the authorized amounts, which have not even begun construction yet, have been affected, none of the construction projects that they are undertaking have been affected, it doesn't affect any of that. None of that. They can proceed apace.
Let me ask you this. How did the DOE factor in the pause on the companies and in the critical aspect? I would say, like, how did y'all weigh that on the production side for the companies?
The companies are able to produce right now. Nobody is stopping any of the companies that have authorization from proceeding. We export, we have capacity to export 14 billion cubic feet. That exists, that is not being stopped. We have authorized another 12 billion cubic feet which are under construction. That is going forward. We have authorized up to 48 billion cubic feet, the difference of which has not even begun construction. That is not impacted by the pause. This does not impact anybody who is doing business or is in construction or even contemplating doing business. And it only will last until the first quarter of next year when we complete the analysis of what's in the public interest.
Recent reporting, Madam Secretary, from the Wall Street Journal noted that Sarah Brennan, the Associate Director at the Rockefeller Family Fund, which has a history of funding anti-fossil fuel groups, stated in an email to environmental groups that, quote, "The pause is the result of a sustained 4-year push that built upon years of opposition to gas exports by community groups and lawyers." So I would ask you, can you tell us how much advance notice was provided on the pause before it was publicly announced?
This was DOE's decision. We announced it when we announced it. We didn't provide advance notice to groups or anything. We announced it when we announced it.
Madam Secretary, has it always been the intent of the administration, the Biden administration, to enact this pause from the beginning?
I'm not aware of what the intent was inside the White House. As I say, this is the Department of Energy's evaluation and decision.
I'm going to switch gears here. Despite decarbonization policies being a key contributor to the premature retirement of fossil fuels, demand for electricity is going to continue to rise throughout the United States. My home state of South Carolina will need new generation as coal plants close or potentially close in the coming years, but without proper and realistic guidance from DOE and the EPA, there's little hope that the grid will actually be as resilient as the administration claims. Madam Secretary, the DOE signed a memorandum of understanding with the EPA to ensure grid reliability. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you believe that the MOU process can still function properly if all the entities obligated to ensure reliability say that it actually isn't achievable?
The EPA is not saying that it's not achievable.
No. The entities are saying that it's not achievable.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said the entities who were parties to the MOU. I think the entities are concerned about whether it is doable. But our experience at Department of Energy, and we consulted with EPA on this, and our knowledge of carbon capture technology tells us that that technology is ready, and it can be installed, and it is doable.
So to me, the MOU seems in a way for the EPA to shift potential blame to the Department of Energy. Even before you testified before the Energy and Commerce Committee 3 weeks ago, at least 3 regional transmission organizations have cited premature retirement of fossil fuel resources as a growing concern with the future of America's grid stability. Couple these concerns with FERC's own forecasts of summer supply shortfalls, and it's clear, I think, that we will have issues with reliability. Many experts have said that the administration's ambitious power plant and carbon capture goals aren't achievable in the desired time frame with our current technology. So who is wrong here?
The goals are achievable with current technology.
Do you think it's the experts or the EPA for whom you've already provided this MOU to implement something that is illegal or harmful to American consumers?
We are not implementing anything that's harmful to American consumers. In fact, it's helpful to America to breathe clean air and have a clean power plant. We are the experts at Department of Energy. We have 17 national labs that are working on this. We have an MOU with the EPA. We know what technology is available, and we believe it's doable.
Thank you, and Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Chair now recognizes Mr. Waltz from Florida.
Madam Secretary, thank you for coming in.